All right, we now shift focus to Iran. Iranians vote for a new president today. And this following Ebrahim Raisi's death in a helicopter crash, choosing from a tightly controlled group of 4 candidates loyal to the supreme leader. Shortly after polling stations opened, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei cast his vote. As ballots are counted manually, the final result is expected to be announced only in 2 days. Now the question is, who will be Iran's pick? 80 candidates entered the race to be president of Iran. The Guardian Council approved 6, barring all 7 of the women candidates. And in the final stretch, 2 of them, both conservatives, have already dropped out. Amir Hossein Hashemi was the first to rescind his candidacy. Hashemi was one of Raisi's vice presidents, and he had campaigned on a continuation of the former president's policies. And as he pulled out, Hashemi urged other conservative candidates to offer a united front. Soon after, Tehran's mayor, Ali Reza Zaghani, joined Hashemi and boarded the withdrawal wagon. Zaghani had attempted to run for president in 2013 and in 2017 as well. It was only in 2021 that he received approval from the Guardian Council, only to withdraw his candidacy as he backed out yet again this time. Now, Zaghani also asked the 2 conservative candidates to unite and not leave the revolutionary forces' rightful demands unanswered. Emerging as the most significant of all of them is Mohammad Bakir Kalibaf. He has served as Speaker of Parliament since 2020. He boasts an extensive military history, including 3 years of as commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC Air Force. The 3 other candidates have all been IRGC officials as well, but Kalibaf maintains close ties to the IRGC. He is known for his role in crackdowns on student protests in Iran while serving as an IRGC general and later as police chief. Now, the second key contender is another conservative, Saeed Jalili. Though he served as the country's nuclear negotiator, Jalili is a critic of international negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. If elected, Jalili is expected to continue the harsh crackdown on anti-government protesters and on Iranian women accused of violating the country's mandatory hijab rules. Mustafa Por Mohammadi is the only cleric in the race, also a conservative. Por Mohammadi had a leading role in the 1988 executions of thousands of political prisoners held in Iranian jails. Let's now look at the sole reformist in the race, Masoud Pezeshkian. He has based his campaign around Iranian women, the youth, and ethnic minorities. He has focused on reopening nuclear talks with the West. Analysts say allowing Pezeshkian to run could be an attempt to increase voter turnout. The question is, will Iran's moderates turn out in favor of Pezeshkian, or will they not turn out at all? All right, joining us live from Tehran, we have Fouad Izadi. He is a professor at the Faculty of World Studies, University of Tehran. Mr. Izadi, pleasure to have you here on Newspoint with us. Of course, it is a pivotal day in Iran. I wanted to understand from you, now, the last time around when we saw the presidential elections, a larger chunk of the population had decided to boycott and not turn out. Do you feel there will be a change this time? Can one expect a better turnout of the voters?
You know, last time we had about 50% voter participation. This time, people expect to have more than that, and because of the tragedy of the president's death.
Yes.
Let me also say that the candidates, based on Iran's constitution, have to be loyal to the constitution, not to any one person. We don't have a kingdom here. We used to have a Shah. There was a revolution in 1979. And one reason there was a revolution was to avoid having a kingdom or kingdom type of government. So the candidates are loyal to the constitution, and I think that's true in any country that I know of.
Mr. Izadi, of course, reformist Pezeshkian has been considered by some as the dark horse here, and he could be the one who could lure in more voters. Reports are suggesting so. Do you feel that is going to happen, number one? And second, do you feel the conservatives might just decide to come together to take on Pezeshkian?
You know, the public opinion polls show that he's about 30%. Mr. Jalili 25%, Mr. Ghalibaf about 20%, and the fourth candidate is about 1 or 2%. So I think we'll have a second round of elections. If no one goes over 50% today, then we'll have the second round next Friday, and only the top two candidates will remain. Others will not be able to run again. We don't know. This is the nature of democracy. In this part of the world, our neighboring countries generally either don't have any elections, or more or less everybody knows who's going to be elected. But the nature of Iranian democracy is what you see. We are on the voting day, and nobody really knows who's going to win the elections. And this is a genuine democracy. Indians enjoy democracy. Iranians enjoy democracy. Demonizing Iran or repeating Western media talking points against Iran, I don't think it's very useful.
Mr. Izadi, from your perspective, and you are at the University of Tehran, of course, you are interacting with a lot of youngsters, the youth essentially. Talk to us, or rather tell us about what you personally feel at the moment. What kind of sentiment is there amongst the youth, or the newer or the first-time voters? How much of them do you see reaching out to the polls at the moment?
Yes, I teach at University of Tehran, and we have a diverse group of students. Majority of our students are female. About 52% of university students in Iran are female, and they have different favorite candidates. And I think some of them will vote for Mr. Pezeshkian because they look at him. He's a heart surgeon. They look at him as someone who could facilitate some of the objectives that the younger people have in Iran. But I have seen supporters of Mr. Jalili, Mr. Ghalibaf on campus. When you go around the university, the main talk of the day is the presidential election, and I think we'll have a good number of younger people voting.
So you're definitely positive that the voter turnout this time around would be better than what one saw last time. Thank you so much for joining in. That was Fawad Izadi, Associate Professor, University of Tehran, joining us and sharing all his insights. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.